Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we will present about radar system. But at first, I want to introduce ourselves. I'm HAFIZAH binti HUSSEIN and our members is NATASHA binti NURUDDIN, NURUL HUMAIRA binti OTHMAN, SYAZNINA binti HEBAT AZALI, and NURUL Liyana binti Kushairi. First, what is radar system? A radar system is a piece of technology that track and detect distant objects using radio wave. It works by sending electromagnetic energy in the form of radio wave in the direction of object and listening for the echoes that come back. In order to ascertain the object distance, direction, and velocity, the radar system monitors the time lag between the transmission and receiving of these echoes. Radar systems are used in various applications, including aviation, maritime, weather, forecasting, and everyday life.
Next, I'm going to explain about radar system in aviation. First is the primary radar. Primary radar emits a radio wave pulse that bounces off of things such as aeroplane and return to the radar antenna. The radar can measure the object's bearing and the distance thanks to this reflection. Next is the secondary surveillance radar (SSR). In order for SSR to respond, an aircraft transponder must transmit data back to the radar station. The transponder responds to the radar interrogation with data that may include the aircraft's identifier and altitude. Next is the weather radar. Weather radar system use microwave energy pulses to measure the reflection of participation particles such as hail, snow, and rain. Weather conditions are mapped using this data along the flight route of the aeroplane. And the last one is the movement radar (SMR), tracks the movements of the ground vehicles and planes on the airport surface, improving security and averting collision on the taxiway and the runways. Next is the application radar system in aviation. First is the air traffic control (ATC) to monitor and manage the movement of aircraft within controlled airspace, ensuring safe separation and efficient routine. Next is the weather detection and avoidance to help the pilot detect and avoid severe weather conditions like thunderstorm, turbulence, and heavy precipitation. And the last one is the airport surface movement and safety to monitor aircraft and vehicle movement on the airport surface to prevent runaway incursions and collisions, especially in the low visibility condition.
Now, I will present about radar system in maritime navigation. In maritime navigation, radar are electronic navigation instruments that use a rotating antenna to sweep a narrow beam of microwave around the water surface surrounding the ship to the horizon. There are three types of radar used in maritime radar system. First, monostatic. Monostatic is a state where the transmitter and receiver are co-located, which employ a single antenna at both sides. Second, bistatic. Bistatic are when the transmitter and receiver are separate and located at different sides. And the last one is multistatic. Multistatic are the version developed from bistatic radar, which it need to utilize two or more separate receiving antennas operating with a single transmitting antenna. Multistatic is common use in maritime navigation as it will increase accuracy, reduce the geometric error, and increase the resiliency. Next, application or use of radar system in maritime navigation. It will help in avoid collision, weather forecasting, and radar navigation.
Radar observations are encoded in a style that may be characterized as abbreviated plain language. The encoded information pertains to the location, movement, intensity change, and the vertical development of isolated cells, or especially strong echoes. The echo coverage is encoded in form of a band, lines, or areas. The message is a description of the radar scope display, and its quality varies with the complexity of the pattern, the scale of element in the patterns, the time available to make and encode the observation, and the judgment of the observer. Abbreviated plain language are transmitted hourly over their corresponding circuit. The transmitted map shows the echo distribution by means of a self-evident code. For the interpretation of the radar map summary, the echo that was detected by the radar was interpreted. As for cold season, the intensity of the echo is lesser and the precipitation of the cold season is very light and remain undetected by the radar, while for autumn and summer, a greater percentage of precipitation is reported by the station and the echo was much more larger than the cold season. And this is the example of radar system in weather forecasting.
Next, we move to radar system in defense. We have 5 points. First, military application. Second, naval operation. Third, air defense. Next, ballistic missile defense. And lastly, battlefield awareness. And we move to first point, military application. Radar is employed in the tracking, guiding, and detection of target, including missile. Radar systems are very transportable and movable, making them useful for a variety of military activities. Second, naval operation. On naval platform, radar is utilized for fire control, target tracking, and surface and aerial observation. Air defense. Radar is used to monitor airspace, provide early warning, and direct air defense system against aerial threats such as missiles and aeroplanes. Then ballistic missile defense. Ballistic missiles are detected and tracked using specialized high-performance radar system. And lastly, battlefield awareness. Radar track and detect target on the battlefield to offer situational awareness in real time.
The last subtopic that we want to discuss is radar system in traffic control. We can see this radar when we on the road. Okay, so how it works? Okay, the radar will detect the presence of the vehicle at two different points along the road and transmit a signal to trigger the camera. And then the radar component will determine the speed and direction of movement and the distance of the vehicles. Then the information in the image can be used to determine the driver's average speed and number plate. With these traffic statistics, data is collected over a longer period of time. Planners and authorities use the data they obtain in their assessments and decisions. This enables them to determine, for instance, if a given lane is being used a lot, the times with the average speed of road users, the times with the most traffic, and how often there is traffic congestion.
In conclusion, the radar system can contribute benefit in many aspects. It can be seen that this technology can be a great help in human daily life such as aviation industry, maritime navigation, weather forecasting, defense system, and traffic control.
This is the list of references we use to complete this slide. A total of 16 references are used and the sources are from website and journal. That's all from us. Thank you.